Hey everybody, it's your favorite friend and fiend, Kenneth Ramon, back here again in the Cruiser Bruiser, back with you this time with another awesome-tacular movie review for you guys. Alright guys, well I've been reading the news and word on the street here is that Snow White is an absolute box office flop. And this is going down in history as like one of the worst performing Disney movies, live action Disney movies that we've seen. And guys, I was one of the suckers, people that watched this movie when it first came out. I saw it on Saturday. I wasn't that stupid. I paid a matinee price to watch this movie. But, does that mean I absolutely hated it? Well, let me share with you guys what I thought. So going in, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I wanted to watch this movie because Gal Gadot was in it. And she was portraying the Evil Queen. Now, the Evil Queen is definitely one of my favorite Disney villains. And honestly, for me, I've been following Gal Gadot for a while. You know, of course, we all know her as Wonder Woman. But before that, she played kind of like a evil villain type character in the Fast and the Furious franchise. She was in Fast and the Furious 5, and I actually really liked her character. And I loved how she pulled off that kind of like villainous character. And I thought maybe she would pull off being Evil Queen. I thought, you know, she definitely looks the part. But couldn't she act the part? And I guess you can say that was my big question for the lead actress in this movie, Rachel Zegler. Could she act the part of Snow White? You know, that we grew up watching as the Disney classic, the animated one. And, you know, reading the books. You know, is it like the books? Is it like the original animated movie? So, anyways, guys, I was excited. No matter what, I walked in my movie theater. They had the place decked out with, you know, like Snow White themed, like apples hanging from like the movie theater as you walk in. It was like really cool. And they had like coloring pages for the kids. I actually picked one up of the Evil Queen, you know, kind of like as like a souvenir kind of. I don't know, you know, maybe get this autographed one day. But it's a memory, you know, and I definitely like enjoyed the experience of going to the movie theater to watch this movie. So, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Let's talk about the visuals of this movie. Visually speaking, I thought the cinematography was absolutely beautiful. You get the house in the woods that looks really, really nice. The whole scenery in this movie is like absolutely beautiful. Kind of reminded me of like when I watched Wicked, which I didn't review for you guys. I never got a chance to review Wicked for you guys, but that movie I felt was visually entertaining, was absolutely stunning. I absolutely love the atmosphere of that movie. Same could be said about Snow White. And for that alone, I thought it was worth seeing in a movie theater environment, you know, because like you get to see it like really big in the big screen, you know, and that's kind of what I look for in like the movie going experience. So that's a positive side of this movie. I will say I absolutely love that. Let's talk about the CGI. I just think it would have been better if they actually hired little people to portray the seven dwarves, but instead, you know, it's CGI, just like Wonka, you know, the new adaptation of Willy Wonka. They decided to get, you know, CGI'd Oompa Loompas in there, you know, and hire, you know, Hugh Grant to, you know, voice the Oompa Loompa, and, you know, and they use his likeness on the digitalized Oompa Loompa. You know, I mean, I have friends that agree with me when they say it just looks fake, you know, and it would be a lot better if they actually hired a person to, you know, portray that role like they did in the olden days, you know. Hollywood actually had little people as actors, but I guess now, like people don't buy movies like they used to, and people wait for streaming instead of going to the movies. I feel like maybe they feel like they're going to lose money, so they try not to hire too many actors. But at what cost, guys? Like, you just don't have that great of a movie. And, you know, and I get it. Like, they're afraid of, like, the movie bombing. I guess in this example, Snow White being a box office flop. But, you know, maybe it's a box office flop for a reason. Maybe people actually want to see something that looks real, you know? And I'd say that's the only thing that I felt didn't look real. Everything else, like, I kind of had a second guess. I was like, oh, I wonder if that's a real castle, or I wonder if they're really out in a wooded area. Like, if this is CGI, it looks pretty dang good. Kind of like the Lion King, the new Disney Lion King. Everything looked very realistic. So, like, I had myself second guessing if it really was. Anyways, that being said, the CGI dwarves did not take away from the rest of the movie. There's parts of it where, like, you could tell, like, they just don't fit in with the other actors or characters in the movie. Like, they just look different. Like, the seven dwarves definitely look more cartoonish than, Snow White and the Evil Queen, of course, because they're portrayed by real people, that are actually in the room, So, like, there was instances where, like, I felt like it was kind of obvious, but I felt like it didn't take away from the movie's magic, and its charm. Let's talk about the singing. All right, the singing was something that actually really bugged me in this movie. I walked in, I didn't know this was going to be a musical, and I didn't watch any trailer. I don't watch trailers anymore, guys, but going in, I was like, okay, all right, Snow White, look at this. This looks really nice. Looks very magical. Then all of a sudden, she comes out and she's like, la, 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 la. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, shoot me. But anyways, okay, the singing, what doesn't work for me is it just happens out of nowhere. And, Heather went to go see this movie with me, and she says, well, that's what a musical is, and if that's what a musical is, guys, maybe I'm just not a musical type of person, but I just feel like it takes away from the flow of the movie when all of a sudden the character breaks out into singing. And it's not like it's an established song or anything. They just break out into singing the dialogue of the movie. And I'm like, okay, get this over with. You don't have to sing it. Just say it, all right? Move on. Come on. I want to watch the rest of the movie. That's kind of like how I felt with the new Joker movie with Lady Gaga. I just felt like it was so slow, and, like we could have wrapped up the scene already if the character wasn't singing, That's just how I feel. And maybe I just don't like musicals. Maybe that's my thing, I know I'm a singer in a band, but man, there's a time and place for everything. And like, I was just like, man, get this singing over with. That being said, though, when they bring back the classic songs, like, the cleaning song and Hi Ho, I felt like, oh, okay, this takes me back to my childhood. And I like the way that they did that. But when they add these, like, new little musical numbers in there, I just felt like it didn't fit. It didn't really fit the movie. It kind of takes away from the movie. So, that being said, though, let's talk about Gal Gadot's performance as the Evil Queen. Yeah, that's what I went in there for, right? She looks amazing as the Evil Queen. Definitely pulls the part off. The mannerisms, definitely, she had that down. What I will say, I feel like she didn't deliver the lines as compelling. Like there was times where, like, I just felt like maybe she was kind of like reading off, like, the book version of it, like just kind of like reading off her lines, or it just didn't feel like she delivered it strong enough. And I could kind of say the same about the Snow White. I felt like the lines just weren't, like, delivered like as passionately as they could have been, And the Evil Queen didn't seem that evil compared to, like, the cartoon version or even the book. Like, she didn't really seem that evil. She looked evil. She looked the part, It could have been very well like Gal Gadot dressing up as the Evil Queen for Halloween, is what I'm trying to say, guys. It just didn't really feel like the actual Evil Queen. Even the Evil Queen that you see at Disneyland, Heather was saying that to me too, like, the actual character actor that they hired at Disneyland to portray the Evil Queen does a better job of the Evil Queen in this movie. And, that kind of sucks, Other than that, though, I will say the story flows really well. The cinematography is very nice. Yeah, I did have a good time. I don't know what it is. Like right now, I'm kind of nitpicking like all the things I didn't like about the movie, just because it's like a box office flop, and I'm trying to understand why. And I mean, I could see where people may have not enjoyed it for like the reasons that I've just said, but there was a lot that I really did enjoy, and I did find adventure, and I really just wanted to go get out of the house and go to the movies and have a good time. And I feel like I still got that from this movie. I will say it's definitely worth a matinee. Don't go paying full dollars for this movie. Don't go out and buy a $50 popcorn bucket. I don't feel like it's worth that. I feel like it's worth a matinee. I'll definitely see it in theaters to get like the whole visuals. So I will say it's worth going to see in theaters. I will say that. Just to get like the full ambiance of the whole movie. Even, dare I say it, the kids running around the movie theater and, causing mayhem. We actually had to have the theater manager come in and kick some kids out because they wouldn't shut up. But even that was kind of like worth the experience. I definitely say go check this movie out, but don't spend your hard-earned money on it. Go and check it out for the matinee price. From a scale of 1 to 10, I want to give it an 8 out of 10 because I feel like it was a good movie. It was better than just all right. It was a good movie. I give it an 8 out of 10. Was it spectacular? Was it like the best live action Disney movie for as far as like these remakes go? Absolutely not. In my opinion, I thought the Lion King, the first Lion King, okay, the first Lion King was the best. Some people will definitely disagree with me. Let me know what you thought was the best, live action, remake of these Disney movies. I still have yet to see Aladdin and Dumbo. Let me know if those were any good, guys, because I still need to see those. But as far as the Lion King goes, I actually went to see the sequel, the Mufasa Lion King. I don't know if I was just way too tired from work or something, but I couldn't sit through it. I think it might just be that I'm just not into musicals, guys, because there was just so much singing and I was so tired and my seat in the theater was very uncomfortable. And I never really walk out of movies. I've only done it once before. This was my second time walking out of a movie. Mufasa the Lion King. I just wasn't feeling it. But Snow White here. Snow White starring Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, I feel is definitely worth a watch. And I think you guys should check it out too. Alrighty guys, well those were my thoughts on Snow White 2025. Let me know what you guys thought of it, if you did see this movie, if you plan on seeing it, even with all these bad reviews. I've been reading the reviews and I just think it's so crazy how they're saying this is one of Disney's worst, because I honestly didn't think it was that bad. I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, I liked it way more than Mufasa the Lion King, which I was almost falling asleep to. This one, I was engaged the whole time. I thought there was a lot of adventure. The magic was there. The scenery was there. Absolutely beautiful. Like, I keep saying that, but I thought it was really, really beautiful just how the atmosphere was in this movie. And it kind of reminded me of actually going to Disneyland and going on the ride. Oh, that was one thing I wanted to mention that I actually really did like about this movie. There's a scene in there where like the 7 dwarves go down their mine shaft where they work, and it's kind of like a roller coaster ride, and it just looks so amazing, guys. Like, I hope Disneyland actually makes it into an actual ride. Like, it was really, really cool. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, like, there's parts in this movie where it just reminded me of being in Disneyland as a kid. So that's what I wanted to say, is like the magic about this movie is definitely in there. Even though some of the performances could have been better, I just felt like all in all this movie was a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend it. It's a good time out, so yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys thought, and as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Kenneth Ramon signing off. Bang.